let's push forward and talk about this reopening from an economic point of view. Joining us is Kallum Pickering, who is senior economist at Berenberg. Kallum, weigh in on this. We're just debating what the reopening day, this Freedom Day, means for the UK economy. Does it suggest we're going to get another bounce in those economic numbers like we have when we've had other restrictions rolled back?
I doubt we'll get a bounce. What I think we'll get is a continued uptick in economic activity. The economy seems to be recovering nicely now, but some of those uncertainties that you mentioned are really big ones. We're going to have to take a look at some of the high-frequency data, mobility statistics and the like to see actually what are the net effects of the uncertainty of opening up, removing masks and the like. Does that actually deter people from going out onto the high street and to supermarkets and to restaurants to shop and spend? And to what extent do we actually have some real economic effects from, as you mentioned, people being pinged and having to force to self-isolate? I think the economic trend continues to be up, but it probably moderates a bit from here.
Just picking up on the pinging that's happening, this NHS track and trace app. I mean, we've seen so many people forced to stay at home and self-isolate just in case they came in contact with someone who may have been infected. And this is having ramifications for the business world. A lot of businesses saying they're just really struggling to staff up at this point because so many people are forced to stay at home. And we know, after what we've seen for the last 12 months or so, hybrid work does have a role, but not in hospitality, for instance. Some businesses need to have their staff physically present. What impact do you think this is going to have on the weeks that we're capturing on the economic data lately?
Well, again, the economic momentum is very strong and the economy is likely to continue to recover. These effects will likely create a bit of a headwind. They may moderate the recovery. Indeed, supply shortages, either from people having to self-isolate or even at a global level because of product shortages, commodity shortages, those are the things that are holding back recoveries, that are creating the headwinds. And again, I have to speak here just as an economist, but the options between a recovery through the summer, where we have a spike in infections and some supply shortages as a result of that, or shifting to the winter, where perhaps we would have a bigger spike and lockdowns, that winter option would have more economic damage. So in terms of the options, the summer reopening and sort of seeing this through is probably the path with the least economic harm. Again, I'm an economist, not an epidemiologist, but the economic choice here is actually one for less damage versus a delayed opening and waiting to see what happens in the winter.
I mean, it seems very clear whether we're epidemiologists, journalists, humble journalists, or indeed economists. We are in a massive, great big English petri dish at the moment as well. We're an experiment for the rest of the world on some form of herd immunity.